So coming onto whatever seat you choose, close your eyes. Come into your breath, whatever you brought with you this morning. Recognize that. Inhaling through the nose and out through the nose. Inhaling through the nose, out through the nose. With every exhale, just allow your shoulders to fall away from your earlobes a little bit more. Oftentimes, the tension accumulates in the shoulders, in the back, in the neck, and we don't even know it's there until we take this moment like this right now to recognize what's going on. Such a beneficial thing to do. And even if you only have 2 or 3 minutes in your day, you can still come to the stillness, come to the breath. Bringing your awareness to the back of the throat. So in order to relax the back of the throat, just barely anchor the tip of your tongue just behind the 2 front teeth. This will relax the jaw as well, that hinge joint. Let the lower joint or the lower jaw relax. Your lips might slightly part, even though you're still breathing in through the nose to the back wall of your mouth and out through the nose. Now we're going to practice some ujjayi breathing, which is called victorious breath. So inhale through the nose, but this time you're going to open up the mouth and sigh it out, just like you're sighing out the breath, all the way out. Then inhale through the nose, forcefully push the breath out through the mouth, like you're fogging up a mirror. And one more time, in through the nose, fog up that fake mirror. Now inhale through the nose, but you're going to close the mouth, but still try to make that noise. So it's a very audible breath, ujjayi breath. It's called victorious breath. This audible breath sometimes creates a little more oxygenation in your blood and your brain. So if you start to get dizzy, just come back to natural, normal breathing. Now coming onto your mat, if you're not already there, and come into all fours. We're going to practice that ujjayi breath as we come onto the mat and start to move with that breath. So let your breath be priority. Inhaling, look up, breathe into the upper lobes of the lungs, and then exhale, ujjayi breath out. Round the spine, tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone. If you're still seated in a chair, you can do this, just starting to wave your spine in your chair, forward and backward. Inhale, looking up, pull the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, round the spine. One more time, and cat or cow, looking up. Exhale, round the spine. Now bringing this into a little more dynamic quality. Extend that right leg out behind you, looking up. Exhale, round the spine, bring the knee in towards the face, towards the forehead. Inhale, expand, look up. Maybe start to bring your left arm out when you draw your right knee away. And then round the spine, elbow into the knee. Inhale, expand. Exhale, round. Inhale. Expand. Exhale, round. Inhale, expand. This time, hold and breathe. Lower your left hand if it's forward. And take that right foot, sweep it behind you, coming under the ball of your foot towards your left, looking over your left shoulder. Breathe into that right rib cage. Feel those intercostals open up this morning. That should feel good. And then coming back to table pose. Tuck your toes under, rock your hips back. Just come on to your hips onto your calves, so you're opening up the soles of your feet. Feeling that connective tissue open up. Your toes are curled under, gaze is underneath you towards your belly button or between your thighs. Elbows lifted. And then coming back up into table. Bring your awareness to left leg. Extend that left leg out. And then exhale, left knee into the forehead, round the spine. Tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin. Inhale, expand. Exhale, round. Inhale, expand. If you want to engage the right arm, extend that right arm out, rolling the thumb up to the ceiling. And then exhale, round, right elbow to left knee. Inhale, expand. Exhale, round. Find that Ujjayi breath if you've forgotten it. One more time, expand. Breathe in. Exhale. And then come back into table. Extend your left leg out. And take the leg to the opposite corner. So looking over your right shoulder, crossing that left leg to the opposite side. You should see the foot. And then take a nice deep breath into the left rib cage. And coming back to table pose, all fours. Tuck your toes, rock your hips back, and come into downward dog. We're not going to stay here long. You're going to bicycle it out for a moment, just to get the back side of the body awake. And then find your Ujjayi breath. Come to stillness. And then as you inhale, come into plank. You can also come onto your knees when you come to plank. Exhale, hips high. Chest presses back to the thighs. Inhale, come into plank. Exhale, hips high, press your chest back. Inhale, come into plank. Exhale, down dog. This time, start to step or jump your feet up to the top of your mat, coming into a forward fold. Your feet can come wide to start. You're going to softly bend the knees so you can bring your fingertips to the floor for a moment. Just start to rock from side to side, transferring your weight from right to left, seeing what's happening in the back side of the body, the hips, the lower back. And then soft bend in your knees, sweep your arms wide around enough, coming into standing. Bring the hands in front of the heart. Find your breath. And we're going to go into this beginning of the class for a few minutes, just moving. One breath, one movement. It shouldn't be so difficult that it's causing you any kind of discomfort. So if it is, just stop and just make some gentle movements, whatever it feels comfortable. Now let's begin. Inhale, sweep the arms wide around and up. Exhale, side bend to your right. Inhale, bring your right hand to left. Side bend to your left. Open the right rib cage. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sweep the hands behind you. Interlace the fingers and open the heart. Just drop those hands below the tailbone. And then release your bind. Start to bend the knees. Slide the hands to the shin bones. Inhale, press the legs straight. Press the palms into the shins. Exhale, continue to slide the hands towards the floor. Bend your knees. Come to Utkatasana, chair pose. When I hang the bum out behind you, you're using the largest muscles in the body here. So yes, your respiration will increase to get the blood flow there. Now straighten the legs. Press the floor away. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. Inhale, lift. Exhale, side bend right. Inhale, lift. Exhale, side bend left. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hands behind you. Interlace the fingers. Pull the hands below the tailbone. Lift the heart. Exhale, release your bind and slide the hands down to the shins. Come halfway up, flat back. Exhale, continue sliding those hands towards the floor. Bend your knees, Utkatasana, fierce pose or chair pose. Reach up, tuck the tailbone. Press the floor away, straighten the legs. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. We're going to continue to add on. Inhale, lift. Make this your moving meditation because you know where you're going. Side bend right. Inhale, lift. Exhale, side bend left. Inhale, moving with your breath, not necessarily mine. Exhale, bring the hands behind you, interlace the fingers, open the heart, back bending. Exhale, release your bind, slide the hands down. You're in a little bent knee pose here. And then straighten the legs. You're pressing the legs straight. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees, come into chair pose. Inhale, keep your knees bent, and then twist to your right. Looking over right shoulder, arms out into a T. Inhale, back to center, look up. Exhale, twist to your left. Inhale, look to the center, straighten your legs. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. Inhale, lift. Exhale, side bend, right. Inhale, lift. Exhale, side bend, left. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hands behind you, interlace the fingers to the webbing. Find your back bend. Pull the shoulder blades close to the spinal column. And then release. Soft bend in the knees. Slide the hands down to the shins. Press the legs straighter. Flat back. Exhale, lower the hands to the floor. Bend the knees, come to chair pose, Utkatasana. This time, if you'd like, when you come to the twist, you can either choose this twist with the arms in T, or bring your palms together, hook that left elbow outside the knee, and look over the right shoulder. Exhale, unwind, reach up, still in chair pose. Exhale, twist to your left, either arms into a T or hook that right elbow outside the left thigh, looking up past that left shoulder. Unwind, look up, straighten the legs. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. Continue on. Inhale, you know where you're going. Make this so present that it's your moving meditation. Side bending right. Watch yourself as you move from one posture to the other. Enjoy the transitions in between, all the spaces in between. Exhaling when you're ready. Find your back bend. Exhaling, soft knees, slide the hands to the shins. Inhale, press the legs straight. Exhale, fold. Inhale to chair pose. Exhale, find your twist, either the arms into a T or hooking that elbow outside the knee. As you inhale, stay in your chair, reach up. Exhale, twist to the left and find your elbow. Inhale, straighten the legs. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. We're going to continue to add on. Inhale. Exhale, side bend. Inhale. Exhale, side bend left. Inhale, straight. Exhale, hands behind you, back bend. Exhale, forward folding, sliding the hands to the shins. Inhale, straightening the legs. Exhale, deeper forward fold. Inhale, back to chair pose. Exhale, twist. Now we're going to transfer this into a revolving warrior two. So step your weight into that right foot. Even find your balance. Pick that left foot up and step that left foot back. Not an easy transition, but one that's kind of fun if you let it be. Looking over your right shoulder. And then taking that left foot back from where it came. Step that left foot forward. Come back into your chair, looking up. Exhale, twist to the left. You can either keep that right elbow or keep the twist. With the arms in T, transfer your weight into left foot. Step that right foot back. When you're ready, come back to that first variation. Step your right foot forward. Unwind, reach up. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. Last round, make it count. Inhale, look up, sweep your arms up. Exhale, side bend right. Inhale, straight spine. Exhale, side bend left. Inhale. Exhale, hands behind your back, little back bend. Exhale, slide the hands down to the shins. A little soft bend in the knees. Inhale, straight back, legs straighten. Exhale, slide the hands further down. Bend your knees, find your chair pose. Looking up. Exhale, twist to the right. Step that left foot back. And find your reverse. Lifting left arm up, right hand down. And then come back into a T. Step your left foot up to the right. Come back into chair pose. Exhale, twist to the left. You can choose to hook that elbow or just stay twisted and step your right leg back. If your elbow is to the knee, lift up and reverse. Right arm up, left arm down, like you're reaching your left hand towards the back of the right knee. And then coming back up to chair. Straighten the legs. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. Let your arms rest alongside your body. Just let them hang off the shoulders. Start to just shake it off. Just shake off your hands like you're got some water on there and you're drying them. Shake them on the other way, side to side. And then relax, find your breath. So coming into crescent warrior. You're going to step your left leg back. So coming to the top of the mat, and then step your left leg back. And you can either sweep your arms up or just leave them onto your waist as you start to dip down. And coming into warrior two, right arm forward, left arm back. Might need to adjust that front leg. So if you were to draw a visual image of the right heel intercepting with the back arch of the foot, that's the line you need. So you might need to make adjustments, maybe a wider stance. And then straighten that right leg, coming into Trikonasana, triangle pose. Reach forward, forward, forward. Hand to the shin, ankle, or all the way to the floor. Find a place for that left arm. Maybe it's just swept behind your back, reaching for the right hip pocket. Maybe it's up into the sky. Hand is even active here. If that left arm is engaged, so are the fingers. Nice straight line all the way from left hand down through the heart, through the right fingertips. And then lowering that left hand, start to bounce your left foot forward. So maybe it's a foot. The feet are in like a parallel beams. They're not in one line. And they're facing the short end of your mat. Come into Parvattanasana, a pyramid pose. Inhale up onto your fingertips for length. Pull that right hip back. Exhale, forward fold a little deeper, chin towards shin. Inhale up onto the fingertips. Exhale, forward fold, a little bit deeper. Inhale up onto the fingertips. Arrange your hips so they're in one line once again, and forward fold. Now let's prepare for half moon pose. Walking the hands out. That right hand's going to be your anchor. All of the weight's going to push into this right foot, so much so that left leg becomes buoyant. And then start to bring your left hand to your waist. So if you feel steady here, then look up over your left shoulder and then maybe release your hand. The trick in this pose is this left leg. You really are sucking that femur bone into the hip socket. I'm just going to peek over at you guys. Nice. That's a long time to hold half moon pose. So thank you for letting me observe. And now release that left hand down. Start to come up. You can just slowly lift up. Now coming into half moon pose and revolving it is a whole other animal. So we're going to revolve our half moon. So start to take that right hip back, left hip forward, and reach this left arm up. Now reach forward, 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 getting your length. You want to bring length through that torso, all the way through the crown of the head. And then slowly lower those left fingertips to the floor. And this time, you're going to twist to your right. Lift that left leg up. Plug that femur bone into that left hip socket. If the neck is okay, that shoulder is okay, twist to the right, look up past that right palm. Reverse half moon. So that means the moon would be in the first quarter phase, the other side of the moon. But right now it's in the third quarter phase. As of today, it's half moon. Lower the right hand, step that left foot back, and come all the way up. Step that left foot up to right and relax, observe, notice what's going on. Find your breath. Now stepping your right leg back. Start to forward fold. Oops, sorry, I forgot half our poses here. Step that right leg back and come into crescent warrior. So your right heel is off the floor, left knee bent. Reach the arms up or to your waist. Slowly lowering down. Open that back of that right knee up by pressing the heel away. This is going to help when we get into our revolved half moon. Right foot flat. Left arm forward. Warrior 2. Now, straightening the leg. And then coming into triangle pose. Reach forward, forward, forward. Lower that left hand, reach the right arm up, or you can sweep it behind your back. Take a moment, notice if you're holding on to your breath, breathe. And then lower that left hand down, bounce your right foot forward. So your toes are pointing towards the short end of your mat. Inhale, lift up onto the fingertips for length. Exhale, fold, chin towards shin. Inhale, lift. Pull that left hip back and align with the right. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. Arrange your hips so they're in line. Exhale, fold. And now preparing for half moon on the opposite side. Walk this left hand maybe 6 or 8 inches out. You're going to anchor yourself on the tips of the left fingers. Press all the weight into left foot until that right leg becomes buoyant. Really active right leg. Pull. The toes are flexed, legs pulling into that hip socket, hand to the waist, or twisting to the right, looking up over that right hand. And then looking down, step that right leg back and lift up. Slowly lift up so that you're not getting dizzy. Now rearrange your hips so that if you had a rod that went from hip to hip, it would be a nice straight line. Try to keep that line. And we'll come into revolved half moon. Right arm up, find a little back bend, and then reach forward like you're shaking somebody's hand way across the room. And then drop the hand to the floor. The 5 fingertips are going to anchor you as you lift that right leg up and twist to your left. Maybe look over that left shoulder. Maybe just stay looking at the floor if it feels a little more stable. This is not the easiest pose. A little bit of an ego booster. Buster, I should say. Ego buster, not booster. And then lower that left hand down. And step your right foot up to left, forward fold. Slowly come on up. Roll the shoulders up and down your back. Find your breath. Take a wide stance so that your feet are a little pigeon-toed, arms out into a T. Ankles underneath the wrists. And then bringing the hands behind you, interlace the fingers to the webbing. Find a little back bend here. Now lift the hands maybe an inch or 2 off the back. Still keep that space between the earlobes and the shoulders. Squeeze the shoulders towards the spinal cord and start to forward fold. So maybe the hands don't come up very far. Maybe it just feels good to experiment with this. Bringing the hands up and over. Think about your sit bones lifting up as your chest lowers down. And then if the hands are up, lower them to your tailbone. Slowly coming up. Release your bind. Bring the hands to your sides of your thighs. Start to forward fold. Keep sliding the hands down just to the point where your body doesn't protest the posture. And continue to slide the hands towards the shins, the ankles. If your hands are all the way to your ankles, you can tug on the ankles or find a bind with your two peace fingers around your big toes. So taking the two peace fingers around the big toes, tug on the toes. That's to assist you a little deeper into this wide leg forward fold. Find your breath. Release your bind, soft bend in the knees, round up, roll the shoulders down your back. Now come into your goddess arms, elbows about 90 degrees, toes turned out now. So as you start to bend your knees in goddess pose, you want your knees to track in the same direction your feet are turned. So make your adjustments as you lower down. Inhale, straighten the arms for star pose, looking up towards that half moon. Then back into goddess. Bend the knees, bend the elbows. And then straighten everything, looking up into the stars, into the moon. Last time, back to goddess pose. And then straighten. And stepping to the top of your mat, we're going to come into a squat. So if we did a squat every day, we would be so much healthier in our backs. So let's try it, even if it's just the first variation, which we'll all do now. Feet turned out, your feet are off the mat about halfway. Start to fold, softly bend your knees. Eventually, as you tuck the tailbone, you can lower yourself down, making sure that the knees are tracking in the same direction as the feet. Once again, maybe bringing your palms together. Close your eyes. Let gravity do the work here. You might surprise yourself. You've opened up, you've loosened up, you've warmed up. This squat may be interestingly and surprisingly available to you. And then coming down onto your sit bones, extend the legs out into staff pose. Finding that flesh, pulling it away. Hands alongside the hips. You want to roll your thighs together, ankles together, knees together. Close your eyes and come into staff pose. Find your breath. And we're going to come into dynamic variations first of intense Western stretch, a forward fold. Sweeping the arms wide around and up, like you're holding on to the moon now. Exhale, forward fold. Bring that moon forward. Then inhale, lift up. Engage Uddiyana Bandha. That's one of your root locks, about 2 fingers below your navel. Pull that back and up into your heart. And then once again, forward fold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. Ujjayi breathing. Exhale. Audible breath. Last time, inhale. Exhale this time. Let go of your moon. Let your hands fall to the shins, ankles, feet, or maybe grab a bind on your toes. Tug on the toes, looking up. As you let the breath go, relax into this more yin variation of a posture where you're just letting gravity do the work. We're going to hold the pose, not force it, and let gravity do the work along with your breath. So as you inhale, you might notice your body's supple enough and forgiving enough that you have to raise up just a tad bit to let the breath in. And then as you exhale, the body naturally goes a little bit deeper, letting go. If you have the bind release, lifting up, you're going to come in to either reverse plank or a reverse table, sliding the hands behind you. Get the shoulders out of the way, squeeze those shoulder blades towards the spinal column, and either lift the hips for reverse plank or bring your feet flat, bend the knees, and come into reverse table. Just pressing through the circles of the palms so you're really opening up the chest here. If you feel like you're stuck in your neck somewhere where it's uncomfortable, either let go by dropping your skull back behind the shoulder blades or look forward, not in between where it feels kind of scary. And wherever you're at, lowering down and coming into head to knee pose, Janu Shirsasana. Left leg extends. Now you can keep that left knee bent too if it feels better on your back. Right sole of the foot into the thigh. We're going to start by twisting to the left first. So twist your belly button to the left. Look over the left shoulder. Right hand crosses outside that left shin or knee. And now start to slide your left hand down the leg towards the shin, ankle, or foot. This encourages a little bit of a spinal twist, which is part of Janu Shirsasana, head to knee pose. Now taking that left wrist, cross it over the left, or the right, left wrist crosses over right. Maybe you start to pull on either sides of the feet or leg and fold in. Just holding the posture a bit to allow your fight or flight habit to go away. And instead, just observe yourself sinking deeper and deeper into the forward fold. And lifting up out of head to knee. Extend your right leg out. My cat Chakra wanted to do it, but she's a little chatty. So we're moving her out of yoga room. Extend that right leg out, left foot into the right thigh. This right foot is flexed. Twist to your right. Look over the right shoulder and left hand outside the knee. This facilitates the twists nicely. Now keeping that twist, slide your left hand down the leg just until the body needs to stop. And then take this right wrist, cross it over left, and then pull in opposite directions, pulling the sternum over the right leg. And let gravity do the work. Now let go of effort Make it a little more yin, where you're just breathing in, letting the body be soft and supple, and responding to the breath. Exhaling, the body wants to go a little bit deeper by nature. And lifting up out of your forward fold, extending both legs out now, so you're in a nice wide V. Taking the hands behind you, and if you can, just lift up a little bit so that you can get a nice pelvic tilt. And then letting go, let yourself fall back into the ground. Hands come in front of you, and for some of you, this is a perfectly wonderful place to be. Just observe it. Lots going on in the groin, backs of the knees, back, hips. Otherwise, start to walk your hands out. We're going to engage that cat-cow that we did at the beginning, but using a little forward fold in combination. So looking up, pull those elbows back, come into your cow-like posture, and then exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone. Maybe your fingers naturally want to walk out another inch or two. And then pressing into the floor, bend the elbows, pull the elbows towards you, look up. Exhale, round the spine, tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin. Maybe the fingers walk out another inch or two. A couple more times. Inhale, look up. You can do this without the legs wide. Just do some cat-cow seated. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale and exhale. Walking the hands back and towards your body. Bringing your legs together and come all the way down onto your backs. Knees bent, feet flat. Just let your legs kind of windshield wiper from side to side to release any kind of tension that may have built up. Done a lot of twists. Just windshield wiper back and forth. Pay attention to any kind of impingements in that lower back. And then come into some stillness. Allow your weight of your body to come into the floor. Bringing your awareness to the right foot. Take the right foot onto the left knee. Flex the foot. And just start to push and pull that knee forward and towards your, away from you and towards your face. And then when you're ready, if you'd like to come into this reclined pigeon pose, thread your hand between the two thighs and find a bind, either behind that left thigh or all the way on top of that left shin. And then the breath takes over here. So as you inhale, press that right knee away, flex the foot. Exhale, pull that left knee towards your face. Inhale, press the right knee away. Exhale, pull that left knee towards your face. So pushing and pulling, finding your full potential, finding your edge. A place where you don't go so far that you risk injury or pain, but that you go far enough that you're learning something new about yourself, that you're providing some input and some information as to what's happening, how you hold your body, old injuries that have healed, but you still have some sort of resistance. Just learning a bit about yourself in these poses. And then release whatever bind you have. Cross your right thigh over left. Squeeze the thighs together. Bring the arms out to a T. Take a nice deep breath in and let your knees fall over to the left. And bringing the knees back to center. Uncross and recross opposite sides. So take that left foot just below the knee, flex the foot, and just push and pull this knee away. Loosening up that hip joint a little bit more. We've done quite a bit to already loosen these joints, but just paying attention to the differences. And then keeping that left knee pulled away from you, find your bind. Either interlace your fingers behind right thigh or all the way on top of right shin. And once you find your bind, find your breath. Inhaling, maybe press that left knee away. Exhale, pull that right thigh towards your face. Inhale, left knee. Exhale, pull right knee in. It's just a very gentle, minuscule movement, but you know that you're working towards your edge. And then release any bind you may have. And then cross your left thigh over to your right a little more. Arms into a T. Take a nice deep breath in and then exhale the knees over to your right. Bringing the knees back to center. We have time for one last pose, and we haven't done a whole lot with the front side of the body. So we're going to roll over onto your belly and prepare for bow pose. So first start out just bringing your forehead onto your arms like a little pillow so that you can become acquainted with your diaphragm. As you inhale, that diaphragm is flattening out. It's moving the organs that live below it. The liver, the spleen, kidneys, intestines. So that the belly needs to expand out. And then as you exhale, it domes up like a half moon into your heart sac. Releasing the belly, releasing the organs. Just observe that for a moment. And then bringing the arms alongside the body. Just bending your knees. And before you grab anything, keep moving your knees back towards the end of your mat so that you have some length first. You can feel that pubic bone on the mat. And then reaching for a bind one ankle at a time. Reach your hands back. For some of you, this is going to be pretty intense. It's a nice way to open up the front of the thighs and the hip flexors. Iliopsoas muscle. If you'd like to go further, press your feet into the hands, hands into the feet, and start to balance on the solar plexus, just below that diaphragm we were observing. And then releasing, if you have the bind, release it. Release your hands underneath your shoulders and press back into child's pose. Set your hips all the way back. Big toes together, knees apart, let the belly fall through. And then coming back onto your belly and rolling over onto your back. Once you come back onto your back, take the next 30 to 40 seconds or so to do any posture that makes you feel like your practice is complete. So maybe it's happy baby pose. Maybe it's an inversion where you go into a shoulder stand. It's a nice way to close a practice. Maybe it's another twist. Just allow yourself to organically, instinctively go into your next pose. If you've done one side, do the other. So you even yourself out. And then eventually making your way into Shavasana, extending one leg out at a time. Bringing the feet about the width of your mat, and then rolling your one shoulder, then the other underneath you. Rolling your head from side to side. Releasing any neck strain or tension. And then eventually letting your head rest in a very neutral place. Let every effort go. If you have a little hand towel or an eye pillow, it's always nice to put over your eyes to keep this pranic energy in, and also to avoid distractions from the external movements. So you'll have enough time here for maybe the next 4 or 5 minutes to allow yourself the time to thoroughly come into corpse pose. This is where the healing takes place. So you've opened all those energy channels. You've opened up your endocrine systems, your neurological system, your circulatory systems, respiratory. All of these come together now in Shavasana. Just observe and let the breath go to natural, normal breathing. Observing the breath. Maybe you can bring your attention to the place between the eyebrows. Maybe there's some residual holding there. Let it go, smoothing out the place between the eyebrows. Letting go of the scalp muscles. Letting go of holding in the lower jaw. Maybe the lips slightly part, even though you endeavor to still breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Starting to awaken out of your corpse pose, bringing life into this body once again, and start to open and close your hands. Maybe roll the wrists into a circular direction and then your ankle joints. And then as you take a deeper breath, start to stretch awake, bringing your arms behind you, stretching from head to toe. And then bending one knee at a time and roll it over onto your right side into fetal posture. So taking a moment in fetal, reminding ourselves that the goal of yoga is actually to reduce, as Desikachar says, to reduce the film of avidya in order to act correctly. Avidya meaning misapprehension, incorrect or false perception. It's the opposite of vidya, which means correct understanding. It's also the root word for wisdom. So keeping that goal in mind, that all of these postures are just tools to understand our own incorrect perception of reality sometimes. You can just rest in that knowledge that it's all a practice, and a lifelong practice at that. So when you're ready, just press yourself up into any comfortable seated posture. Letting your hands rest on your knees or in your lap. For the last moment, just closing your eyes with a nice straight spine, crown of the head reaching towards that sun or moon, as we were honoring. Bringing the palms together in front of the heart, Anjali Mudra. This is a gesture of gratitude. So perhaps bring one thing, could be small, could be big, one thing that you're grateful for that makes your life and your days worthwhile, valuable, connected. And with that one thing that you're grateful for, maybe take that into the rest of your day and your weekend and your week. The light in me bows to the beautiful lights in each of you. Namaste.